Yesterday, too, as I mentioned at the top of the show, the government received its long-awaited Defence Strategic Review, the report from former Defence Force Chief Sir Angus Houston, into what needs to be done to make our armed forces a more effective deterrent against aggression, of course we know most likely from Beijing. Now, while the report has not been released, we won't see it for some time, and only then I suspect a sanitised version, it's said to recommend the swift acquisition of killer drones and a big expansion in naval ship numbers and missile weaponry. And that's all good as far as it goes. We do need more ships, we need more heavily armed ships, we do need more attack aircraft, we do need more cruise missiles that can strike distant targets in order to dissuade potential aggressors. But the trouble is we need them now, not in many years' time. Just like we need the new nuclear-powered submarines now, not in 15 or 20 years' time, which is when we're likely to get the next version of Britain's attack submarine, which is now reported to be our Navy's preference. You see, this is the constant problem with every major defence acquisition. Our defence planners are much better at making decisions for 10 years' time, when they'll all be retired, than they are at making decisions for next month or next year, when the threat may well materialise. As the Ukraine war shows us, a reckless adversary can open hostilities at very short notice. And wars have to be fought with what you have now in your kit, not what you plan to have in decades to come. Ukraine, well, they're reportedly using bullets, shells and missiles at a much faster rate than the whole of Europe can actually produce. Just as we have scarcely 30 days' supply of essential fuel onshore in this country, we have scarcely a few days' supply of munitions, should they be needed to be used at anything like the rate we're seeing in Ukraine. So yes, full marks to Angus Houston for telling us what we need, but it's now up to the government to get it, and get it with the same sort of urgency that we acquired vaccines against the pandemic, not the glacial speed that means submarines that should have been ready in 2 or 3 years' time won't be here for 2 decades, if at all.